días, ¿cómo estás?
Good morning and namaste. Welcome back to the studying of the Vimalakirti Nirdesa Sutra. As we see the sutra unfolding by each and every chapter, and we are on the chapter 7, we'll be continuing from the midway of this chapter. And I would like to invite Dr. Rajesh to the session.
Namaste.
Namaste. Good morning, Rajesh sir.
Good morning. Good
And if right now we are waiting for Dr.lim to join, but the time still till he joins, we'll be continuing first with our practice and then moving on to the study of the sutra.
Before starting practice, please sit comfortably, keep your back straight, and keep your hands relaxed in any mudra. Remember, one breath in and one breath out is one count. While reverse counting, gently focus on your natural breath. Do not force your breath. At the sound of the bell, begin your practice. Start.
So I'll continue from the verses which we were on. At that time, there was a heavenly maiden in Vimalakirti's room who saw the devas and humans hearing the dharma being spoken, and she manifested her own form and immediately scattered heavenly flowers upon the bodhisattvas and great disciples. When the flowers reached the bodhisattvas, they all fell away. But when they reached the great disciples, they remained attached but did not fall. All disciples, using their divine powers, tried to remove the flowers but could not do so. Then a deva asked Shariputra, "Why remove the flowers?" He replied, "These flowers are not in accordance with the dharma. Therefore, they are removed." The deva said, "Do not say these flowers are not according to the Dharma. Why so? These flowers are without discrimination. It is only that a noble one generates discriminative thought themselves. If one renounces the world for the Buddha Dharma and has discrimination, it is not in accordance with the Dharma. If there is no discrimination, then it is according to the Dharma." I'll take a pause.
Yeah. So here it's a very nice, twist here that comes that suddenly in that small room where the whole drama is being unfolding, and then you have a Devi there. Okay, and she is actually listening to it, and she knows how profound this conversation is happening between Vimalakirti and Manjushri and others there, all the bodhisattvas, and then even the Shravakas are there. So it is but natural for somebody to offer flowers. So that's how, like in our world, we offer praise, we offer something. It's natural for the gods
Like an
to
applause.
offer flowers. So you see this particular verse that the mandara flowers are being showering on a very special occasion, and it is their way of rejoicing and feeling good. So this Devi is also doing that. But what is happening is, when that flowers are coming and they are falling on the bodhisattvas, they are just
Withering off.
yeah, I mean, just not getting attached, but it's going away. It's but natural, right? But with the Shravakas, it was the other way around. It was sticking to them, and that's where the whole thing happens. Then why are they trying to ward off the flower? Because the flower that was not ready to stick there is sticking there, and they don't want it, but it is still there, and they're trying to remove it, is not going. So the whole idea is, why is that? Because for that person, the Shravaka, the flower is sticking because that's the dharma of the flower with that Shravaka. Okay, means at that early stage of your learning and studying, you're but bound to hold on to concepts and ideas and beliefs, right? And then you stick to that because that's the basis of it, but you don't want to. So you forcibly want to remove it. It's not going to go away. So similarly here, it is saying that by that non-discrimination, let it happen. It should, if it is so, it is so. Why take the effort of making it otherwise, that you want it this way? And here it's a very nice way of saying, if there is no discrimination, then it is according to the dharma. If you discriminate, then because you suddenly see, oh, it's not sticking to them, it's sticking to me. Yeah. Oh, I also want to get rid of it. That
because it is not natural to stick
absolutely
a flower on your body.
So it is something that is very nicely put here, that discriminative thoughts. Okay, that's where the whole attachment is there. But if you have non-discriminative thought, you don't discriminate at all. You absolutely see things as it is and let it be as it is. There should be a cause and a reason for things to happen, right? And if it is happening, why can't we witness it? Why can't we participate in it? And Vimalakirti Nirdesa Sutra here takes a very important turn to help us understand that at whatever stage you are, you're still in the process. And this process means I need to continuously keep on doing till things happen to me.
Okay.
You don't force things. You don't force the flowers to fall off. If you have achieved that status of Bodhisattva, it will happen naturally.
Got it.
Right?
So this relates to our real life also in a way, like because when you take flower as a literal example, this is something which is not natural to happen. But with your explanation, we understand that when things are happening, let it happen the way they are happening. You don't discriminate because you're seeing something. If it would have stuck to the bodhisattvas, you would have been okay.
Absolutely.
If now it is not sticking to them, and you have an idea that it's not natural for a flower to stick,
absolutely,
you're doing this.
Yeah, means the bodhisattvas did not feel like, oh, the flowers should stick.
Yeah.
Okay, they just let it happen. But here it's the other way around. And here again, but the bottom line is that if one renounces the world for the Buddha Dharma and has discrimination, it is not in accordance with Dharma. So once you have renounced the world and yet you discriminate.
Like, can you give a more
it's
modern example?
like when you say the world is your creation, your sansara. Now this sansara is based on your condition, your sanskara. Now when you have renounced that, you said, no, now I will not let my sanskara, my world decide for me. I will participate in the world's whatever methodologies or systems, or however the world unfolds to me, I'll just participate. I will take that as a challenge. I'll take that as a responsibility. I'll start contributing. Okay. Now that's a journey that you decide. And when you have taken that, but now you start discriminating. No. You put in preferences, this and that. No. If it should be, then it should be like that. Once you start doing that, then you're not left the world. You still are holding on to the world. And then you are saying that it is dharma. No, it is not in accordance with the dharma. So once you have that fixed mindset, so if you say, no, worshipping is the only way that I will be attaining this, you are again getting attached to an idol, something you're getting fixed, and that's not in accordance with the dharma. Because you suddenly, you say this idol, okay, or this idol of Buddha is what I worship. I don't worship the other idols. I will not worship a Shiva or a Krishna idol. Because now the discrimination has come in because of the idols, right? You could say one color. You start, I worship this color and not the other colors. Then you have started to discriminate. How can that be in accordance with dharma? So that's where it is saying that that will not be in accordance with the dharma.
Got it. Thank you. We'll move on to the next verses. Observe the bodhisattvas upon whom the flowers do not adhere. They have already cut off all discriminative thought. It is like a person afraid of danger whom others cannot benefit. I did not get this
So
line.
it is like a person.
Can you go back, please?
So here they are saying that those flowers are not adhering to the bodhisattvas because they don't have any discriminative thought. It is like a person afraid of danger. Okay, whom others cannot benefit. Means I am afraid of danger. If I am afraid of danger, but you're not going to benefit from this fear of mine. So it is more to do with me alone. But if this fear is to do with everyone, then that fear has meaning. If it is this fear only for me, only for myself, then it is discriminative already. You understood? Because bodhisattvas, they don't do it only for themselves. They do it for the world at large, for other beings also. So if a fear comes in, if a bodhisattva is fearful of a viral infection that could possibly kill everybody, he is worried. Now he is going to work for the society. He's going to make sure that that fear which is not limited to him, he's worried about everybody else. He starts doing something for the society. So when it is only fear for yourself, not for others, then it is not a bodhisattva fear.
Got it. Likewise, no, back, please. Likewise, disciples are afraid of samsara, and thus from form, sound, smell, taste, and touch affect them. Those who have not abandoned fear, the five desires can no longer affect them.
Yeah. So here now what is saying? So if disciples are afraid of samsara because they don't want to engage with the samsara because samsara is suffering. So that is why they are afraid of rupa, sound, smell, all those five senses, they affect them. That is why if you're meditating, somebody plays a nice musical song, you, hey, shut it down. Okay, somebody is cooking something when you're sitting for meditation, somebody is cooking fish. The smell, hey, what are you doing here? Let me meditate. Suddenly, all the senses become the factors of your disturbance. You do not want to engage with the samsara, but when the samsara is engaging with you, you are getting troubled. You understand? So here it is saying, but those who have abandoned fear, the five desires can no longer affect them. But somebody who is fearless, okay, he is fearless, absolutely fearless. For him, what is going to cause him that fear? Nothing. Because fear will come in the form of these five senses or the thought and the sixth sense. If somebody is fearless and he knows that other than these six, I can be afraid of everything else, but there's nothing left. You understood? So that is why they become fearless, you know.
Okay. Those whose karmic habits are not exhausted, the flowers merely adhere to the body. Those whose karmic habits are exhausted, the flowers do not adhere at all.
Yeah, means see, when we look at flower, now flower is something very symbolic. Now it's like, you see, the flowers were showered by the devas. It is something that is a very positive or good thing that is going. So if somebody's karma is still not fulfilled, you give him a praise, he'll be attached to that praise. You understood? But somebody whose karma is exhausted, you praise him how much ever time you say. Like Buddha says in the Diamond Sutra to Subhuti, he says, what does he say? That you are one of the greatest Aranya practitioner.
But he says,
But he says, I never ever felt like that because that never adhered to him. He never caught hold on to that. So he feels I'm nobody. And because he feels nobody, he is everybody. So here, this is what they are talking about, the karma.
Okay. So Shariputra now said, Deva, you have remained in this room for a long time. How long is it? He replied, I have remained in this room as if liberated for many years. Shariputra said, have you remained here so long? The Deva said, liberation for many years. What does long even mean? Shariputra remained silent and said nothing.
So now you see, Shariputra is questioning the Deva. Naturally, the connection happened. The flower that she showered, it stuck to him, and now it's not going up. And all this drama is unfolding. She is questioning, you have been here. So change of topic, discussion topic. So he's asking her how long you have been. But I've been liberated, but you're still in this room only, na. You're talking about liberation, but you're still here. So for Shariputra, he's also trying to be a little wiser to ask questions, and he's saying, for how long? Many years. So she's also asking, liberation for how many years? What does long even mean? Because for a person who's liberated, there is no time and space.
Yes.
Now, somebody who is still not liberated is asking a question, how long?
Yes.
Because that person still holds on to time and space. So it doesn't match. The question doesn't match. So it definitely remains to a point when she asks a question, he doesn't have an answer because he cannot explain what is long because he's still holding on to it. Because as soon as he talks about long, then he's not liberated. So Shariputra keeping quiet. Shariputra remained silent and said nothing.
The Deva said, "How is it that a venerable one of great wisdom is silent?"
So now the conversation goes on.
He replied, "A liberated one has nothing to speak. Therefore, I do not know what to say."
So now he's also trying to say, I'm also liberated. Yeah, I have nothing to speak for. But it was he who asked the question.
Yes,
Now,
again changing the topic. Speeches and words are, the Deva said, speeches and words are all marks of liberation. Why? So now he's saying speeches and words.
and now, as soon as he holds on to one side, the Deva is going to go on the other side.
Yes,
You remember?
yes.
Okay, so always remember. Now he's saying that again he's holding on to something. He's saying that a liberated one does not have anything to speak for. Now he's defined a liberated person.
Yes.
How can you define a liberated
By
person? Yeah. No, so he is defined. So he wants to prove that I am not speaking, so I am liberated.
Yes.
Okay, because you ask a question and I cannot answer that. But here the Deva is saying speech and words are all marks of liberation. Even speech and words are marks of liberation.
Yes.
If you don't speak, you are not liberated.
Yes.
You are still stuck.
Yes, because you are unable to speak.
Why so?
A liberated one is neither internal nor external, nor in this space, nor in the space between.
So when you say liberated, then why will you not speak? Because you are liberated, you can speak now. You understood? Because you are free, you're not this, you're not that, you're not in between. You can be everything. You understood?
You cannot only be one.
Then you cannot say, no, actually a liberated person cannot speak. Hey, that means you're not liberated.
Yeah.
No, if liberated person can speak, what are you speaking? Then also is a problem.
What is there to speak?
So you should have relevance. Conversation should be relevant conversation to the subject that it is to be spoken for. That is what liberation means. Talking anything randomly doesn't make any sense.
Yes. Then words are also neither internal nor external, nor in the space between. Therefore, Shariputra, do not speak of liberation apart from words.
Yeah, means don't try to show off that, because I'm quiet and silent and I don't speak, that means I'm liberated. No. If you're liberated, speak.
Yeah.
But if he speaks, then again he'll be in a problem.
Why? All dharmas are the marks of liberation.
Anything that has a quality, a nature, okay, has the ability for liberation. Right? You cannot say that this quality and that quality is the mark of liberation. No, because liberation doesn't have a quality of mark. How can you define freedom? You cannot define freedom. Freedom is free from bondages. But free from bondages, bondage can be defined. But freedom cannot be defined. Right? Today is Independence Day. How can you define independence? It's just that I can define the bondage that we were actually bonded by the British.
Yeah, well, the freedom Independence Day talks about that we got free of the bondage.
Absolutely, you cannot. If there was no bondage,
then we would not talk about.
Do you think we would celebrate Independence Day? Exactly. So you can talk about the rope that tied you, but when the rope is untied,
you cannot talk.
How can you define it? It cannot be, right?
Yes. Then Shariputra said, is liberation no longer defined as being free from lust, anger, and ignorance?
Now he is asking. Shariputra is, if that is then liberation isn't it defined as being free from lust, anger, ignorance? Because that's what he understands. Because he has defined and kept that concept of freedom means these three things, and one is free from that means he's free.
The Deva said, the Buddha spoke of freedom from lust, anger, and ignorance as liberation for those with conceit.
So, mean, means you see where you
Even
have
the one who's
so
bonded by
he took it generally when it was meant for a specific
kind.
purpose or kind or nature.
Hmm.
So he said one has to be free from lust, anger, and ignorance. Otherwise, you'll go into bondage, or you are already in the bondage of lust, anger, and ignorance. Set yourself free from that. But that doesn't means it's like a rope tied. Okay, the rope has been released. My 3 ropes that tied me of anger, lust, ignorance, I released it. But I did not get out of the cage. I'm still in the cage. Do you think I'm free?
No.
Exactly. So here, don't take it in that sense, because that would be wrong idea of liberation.
But for those without conceit, if the Buddha speaks of the nature of lust, anger, and ignorance, that itself is liberation.
But for those without in conceit, means they have nothing ill about others. Now, such a person, when he speaks of the nature of lust, anger, means the person can manage his lust, he can manage his anger, and he can manage his ignorance. He knows when to be quiet, when to be not speaking. He knows that very nicely and skillfully. That is liberation. Isn't liberation saying that you are free? Okay, means imagine it's like this, somebody has tied me, okay, all these 3 things, and I release it, I'm free. But imagine I know that at times when I need to tie, I need to tie myself, and I only tie it. It's like my shoelace. When I need to, I tie it. When I want, I remove it.
Untie.
So I'm going to have the shoelace. I'm going to have those bondages, but I know when to tie and when to release it. Isn't that liberation?
Yes.
Yeah,
True liberation.
yeah, that is true liberation. So that liberation they are talking about.
Okay, because I got confused again here. Because in the above line it talks about that the person with conceit, the Buddha has to talk about them. But again, I already assume that the one who is without conceit, you would not need to talk to that person about these things.
No, because without conceit means without an agenda, without an idea to do something wrong for others. But
But still they have these challenges.
But if the vow is to help others, then he will use lust.
Yes.
He will use temptation to save everybody, right?
Yes. Yeah.
He will use anger. You don't listen, I'll whack you and I'll pull you out.
Even illusion of I'm sick.
Yeah, all the drama that comes around, the ignorance, suddenly thinking, I don't know, how is it? Can you help me? Then there's somebody comes to help you, and then with that process you teach. So all these are tools that a bodhisattva, a liberated person, uses to benefit everybody.
Amazing. Let's go deeper into it. Shariputra said, excellent, excellent Deva maiden. What have you attained? By what is it verified? Your reasoning is thus. The Deva said, I have neither attainment nor verification, therefore my reasoning is thus.
So she's saying, oh, you excellent, you speak so well. Okay, now what have you attained? Can you tell us what have you attained? And what verifies that? What is the praman for that? Validation you need? Because you're saying that you are speaking so well that definitely you have attained something. Because it's all about in the initial Sravaka stage is still about achieving nirvana. They want to achieve it. They want to attain it, and there is a praman. They say that these are the levels. The first dhyana, the second dhyana. All these levels are there. So they're saying, please tell me, you have attained it. What is the proof of that attainment? She's saying, hey, I have neither attained it, nor do I have any verification for, and that is my reasoning. So don't ask me, did I attain anything, and do I have any proof of that attainment? I have nothing. That is my reason of whatever I say, because I have nothing.
But how does having nothing can give you?
Yeah, you see that.
No, next page. Why? If one has attainment or verification, then in the dharma it gives rise to conceit.
Now suddenly, if you have attainment, okay, and you have a validation for that attainment, then suddenly in the dharma you give rise to a conceit, an idea, concept that you say, where is yours? Show me yours.
You don't have.
You don't have. Suddenly only you have decided the rules and regulations of this being the way. Your way is not the way. His way is not the way. My way, I found it, this verification. If it doesn't validate this, it doesn't exist. So suddenly that is not there, because there is suddenly conceit, discrimination, there is difference, there's an agenda. And that's not right.
Okay. Shariputra asked the Deva, with regard to the three vehicles, what do you aspire to seek? The Deva said, I am a Shravaka because I teach sentient beings with Shravaka Dharma. I am a Pratyeka Buddha because I teach sentient beings according to the dependent origination, the karmic law. I am a Mahayana practitioner because I teach sentient beings with great compassion. Shariputra, it is like a person entering a grove of fragrant flowers, smelling only the flower they seek and not the other fragrances.
So beautiful. Now they are talking about the three vehicles, because that is the whole debate all about. Okay, which vehicle are you following? Which is your means of attainment of the enlightenment? So here she's saying that it depends. When I have to teach sentient beings, okay, who are listeners, I become the Shravaka Dharma follower. I use that as a vehicle. When there are people whom I have to teach the cause and the effect concept, dependent origination, pratitya samutpad, then I become the pratyeka Buddha, and I act like that and teach them. And then when I am actually here to teach people compassion, to live together in harmony as a whole, then I am suddenly turning myself into a Mahayana teacher. So I use the three vehicles as and when necessary, depending on the audience, the ones that I'm trying to help. And so he says that it is like you are entering a grove full of flowers. Now, which smell do you actually can sense? The one that you will take and you will smell. You cannot sitting there smell all.
No.
But suddenly you take a flower and you smell, you can only smell that. But this is, oh, nice smell. Then you take another one. So you have taken the rose. Then you take jasmine, and you are smelling each flower as and when you come across them, right? And that is why you can actually smell the flowers, all the flowers. But sitting there saying all together, I'll smell all, it doesn't work. You can feel pleasant, but when it comes up to actual picking the smell, you need to take one flower at a time.
Yes. Likewise, if one enters this room, one smells only the fragrance of the Buddha's merit and does not take delight in the fragrance of Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha merit. Shariputra, even if Shakra, Brahma, the four heavenly kings, various devas, nagas, and spirits enter this room, hearing this superior one expound the true dharma, they all delight in the fragrance of the Buddha's merit and generate bodhicitta and depart.
Yeah. So again, on the other side, they're saying that if somebody enters a room, okay, and there is this different type of people with different type of wisdom and different type of eloquence, and they are like fragrances. So, but when a Buddha blooms, his fragrance overpowers everybody else's fragrance, and hence it doesn't matter if there are Shravaka or Pratyeka. When a Buddha is there, that fragrance is the most pleasing one, and everybody wants to get into that mode of actually smelling that fragrance. So when a Buddha speaks, everybody else's words do not matter, the Buddha's words matter. So it's like the differentiation comes naturally. You don't choose, it happens. It happens because of the kind of dharma, the nature of that being, right? So again, in the grove, you can go close and you can smell, but when you will be there, if the majority of the flowers are only lotus flowers,
then you smell the lotus.
Exactly. Whatsoever happens, the majority, the maximum is where your senses are going to be pulled into. That's what it is saying.
Okay. Then next one, Shariputra, I have remained in this room for 12 years. At first, I did not hear the dharma of Shravaka or Pratyeka Buddha, but only the Bodhisattva's great compassion and the inconceivable dharma of the Buddhas. Shariputra, this room constantly manifests eight rare and difficult to obtain dharma. What are these eight? This room constantly shines with golden light, indistinguishable between day and night.
Now you see, he is also now adding more, trying to tell that how long he has spent himself in this room, 12 years. And then he's saying that I did not hear the dharma of Shravaka or Patika here. Why? Because the character there in that room is a bodhisattva.
Bodhisattva.
He is moved up. So whatever he has seen, he's only seen compassion, great compassion. He has seen the inconceivable Buddha dharma being taught and practiced. So he's saying that I have seen that, and I've also witnessed the 8 great manifestations which are seen in this room, to which are difficult to obtain dharma. And that, what are these 8? First, he says about a golden light, indistinguishable between day and night. Means there is no time that divides. There is constant light. So this person in this place, this is always open for everyone. It's not limited by even the discrimination of day and night as time.
Not illuminated by the sun or moon, this is the first rare and difficult to obtain dharma. Those who enter this room are not disturbed by defilements. This is the second rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
So means all the confusion is gone because there is a wise man who can guide you. It's like that. You go to a doctor, he sees your illness, gives you a prescription, the sickness is gone.
Got it. Next one. This room constantly hosts Shakra, Brahma, the 4 heavenly kings, and bodhisattvas from other realms without interruption. This is the third rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
The kind of company this man keeps shows what kind of a personality this is. So that also, it's a very rare thing.
This room constantly expounds the dharma of the 6 paramitas that never regress. This is the fourth rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
Being a bodhisattva, the 6 paramitas are full swing in practice.
Yes. This ये वाला? Okay. This room constantly produces the foremost pleasures of devas and humans, with strings producing innumerable sounds of dharma propagation. This is the fifth rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
Yeah. So here he's saying it's not a place of suffering or where somebody is being tortured. Here it's the foremost of the pleasures of devas. Even the devas will come and enjoy here. There is so much pleasure here. There's satisfaction here, even for the humans. So there is nothing that is of pain and suffering. Joy is the essence that he witnessed in this particular place, because around the bodhisattvas, joy is there. He knows there are sentient beings who live on these 5 senses, and hence pleasure to keep them in that mode of not being suffering because of not getting access to these pleasures, basic pleasures of life. That's what he has witnessed.
This room contains the 4 great treasuries filled with countless jewels, benefiting all who lack, providing inexhaustible attainment. This is the sixth rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
Means all the materialistic requirements are fulfilled here.
Okay. In this room, Shakyamuni Buddha, Amitabha Buddha, Akshobhya Buddha, Ratna Guna, Ratna Tejas, Ratna Chandra, Ratna Shri, Durjaya, Simhanada, Sarvat
Sarvartha Siddhi.
Sarvartha Siddhi, and likewise the immeasurable Buddhas of 10 directions. Upon the thought of this superior one, they all come, broadly expounding the secret and essential dharma treasures of the Buddha, then return.
Means the intelligence that I've seen here of all the Buddhas coming in and shining forth here through this person's actions, in the way he solves problems, it's witnessed that this person is definitely blessed by the Buddhas of all the directions.
This is the seventh rare and difficult to obtain dharma. In this room, all devas, palaces, and Buddha's clean lands manifest. This is the eighth rare and difficult to obtain dharma.
So not only limited for the people who are suffering, even the seekers, the gods who are looking for the pleasurable palaces and everything, those are also fulfilled here. Even the Buddha's clean land, because all the bodhisattvas who are planning to have their clean lands, that also is manifested here. Because you work as an intern with a person who is already of that quality, you're going to become like that person, right? So that also is a very rare dharma that is acquired. So you see, the Devi is trying to explain what qualities of a bodhisattva in action are like these 8 powerful things. They are rare and difficult to obtain dharmas, but this guy in this place, in this small room, is able to execute that, right?
I mean, this room is something like, you know, everyone would
So
have.
it could be, you see, Tata's office,
Yeah, I was just.
right? Or it could be the Prime Minister's office, or it could be some great person who is thinking of the people at large. He, when he runs a small office, how does he get things done?
Shariputra, this room constantly manifests 8 rare and difficult to obtain dharma. Who, having seen these inconceivable phenomena, would take delight only in the Shravaka dharma? Shariputra said, why do you not transform your female body?
Now this is interesting. We can stop here. You know,
Okay.
why? What is the thing here is that who, having seen this inconceivable phenomena, would still take delight only in the Shravaka Dharma. This is what the Devi is saying. That when they have seen so much advance, it's like, why would somebody be happy when they have seen the fruit? Okay, why will they be happy with the leaf and the flowers? They'll be rejoicing with the fruits, right? They are happy at that time. So when they have witnessed this, suddenly that joy and happiness for Shravaka is not there. But then Shariputra is again moving into another topic. Then he's talking about why living in a female body. Suddenly he's now taking up another topic. So one after the other, that Shravaka mind holding on to one thing and having questions based on to what he is holding on to. And that questions he's posing to the thing. So now suddenly gender comes in. Till now it was not a gender thing. Now suddenly
Discriminative.
now another discriminative thought comes from suddenly gender, because Shravakas still wouldn't believe that a woman body
be so
can
good.
achieve the Buddhahood, because Buddhas are all for them male gender. Suddenly gender is what they are discussing, which is not even a topic of discussion. So now I think we keep that for tomorrow. It will be an interesting part as we explore how the Devi can reply to Shariputra and his question about gender discrimination.
Yeah, okay. So that was it, guys, for today. And thank you so much for joining in for the study. We'll see you tomorrow at the same time, 10 a.m. Hope you all are there, because that time we'll see that this discriminative thought, how is this being answered by the Devi. So thank you so much. Namaste and bye.